Hey, what's up everyone? It's I Sleep Too Late, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about Pure Hackmons No Nerfs. This is Legend ZA edition, and I did just create a GitHub for anyone who's interested in playing the format. This has taken quite a while, but I was able to finally get this set up. As you might have noticed, I've made some videos already on how to play, or me playing, Pure Hackmons No Nerfs versus a computer or AI, and I'm here to show you exactly how you can do that for yourself. So this is a GitHub that I'm going to post a link in the description of this video. Basically, this is a custom Pokemon Showdown format where every Pokemon / move / ability or mechanic is at its peak across all generations. So for example, Mewtwo had 154 special defense in Gen 1, and so we're going to keep that as well as Psychic being immune to Ghost in Gen 1, so we're going to keep that as well. So some really busted things, most notably like Parental Bond being 50% in Gen 6, but nerfed to 25% in Gen 7 and forward. So we're going to bring it back to a 50% damage the second hit. This also includes a fork of Leftovers again, which is not been really updated or maintained the last 6 years. So I did update it using some assistance so that you can use Leftovers again. It's just an AI robot that you can play against if you want to. And I also create instructions on how to battle against other people using Cloudflare. So let's go ahead and show you what the code looks like. This is just not exactly what you should be copying exactly, but Leftovers again folder is in itself something that you can put somewhere. VENV is a virtual environment for Leftovers again. This PHNN is a mods folder that you can put in the directory of your data / mods folder of your private Showdown repository. I also include some additional files here as well. So we're going to go through some of this through the README file, which I am showing you right here. This is no nerfs, like I said. Took me a while to create this README, but a lot of this is already in that paste bin that I showed in a previous video. But as you can see here, I copy some of those things. And I also make note that the Dynamax and Gigantamax is not supported in current Showdown Gen 9 alongside Terrestrialize. So that is one thing that I guess you could say is kind of a nerf in the nerfed Showdown version of this format, where you can either Mega Evolve or you can Terrestrialize, but you can't do both in one Pokemon. So here's some instructions on how to set up the installation. Basically what I told you, you have to, put those folders where they need to be. And then you can configure the format, so you can change the name of the robot if you want to use Leftovers again. You just insert your nickname here in the bot file of the SRC folder. You can also create, you set up Pokemon Showdown the way you would do. And then I have some instructions here on how to set up Cloudflare if you want to use Cloudflare to make public your private local host website. Now, you can use other things too. There's some other not just Cloudflare, but that's just one example that I'm using here because it worked for me personally. But there's other ones out there as well if you want to use those, or you can host your thing through other means. All right, so moving forward, I do want to skip through this because you can read it yourself, but I just want to briefly talk about the format details. I did make some changes. So you can see here I added the Treasures of Ruins. In the original iteration of the game, they had more buffed versions of these Pokemon in Qianpiao, Wo-Qian, Chi-Yu, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, and Ting-Lu. So I am utilizing the original pre-nerf stats of these Pokemon. I mentioned here that Mega Zygarde from Legend ZA is included, as well as the additional ZA Megas. You can, go ahead and look through those yourself. And then as far as the moves goes, you can see here that there are additional moves that you can click a drop down for. You can use Z moves. And at the end here, I mentioned Nile Light, which, just so you know, spoiler, that is a new move in Legend ZA, which is 200 base power according to Bulbapedia, and ignores defense boosts, special defense boosts, and also hits fairy types as well. Moving forward, there's a few additional things I want to mention. Parental Bond, we are changing that to allow Z moves to hit twice. This is very relevant for things such as, I guess, Guardians of Alola, which is a Z move that can reduce Pokemon's HP by 75%. If you do that twice, you can actually have Pokemon like Eternamax get knocked out by just having a single move and Sandstorm or Hail. So that makes that Pokemon a little less good, I guess. The other thing we've thought about to nerf Eternamax was to maybe implement a species clause, which I don't really talk about in this particular document, but it is something that we were considering. And additionally, I want to talk about terrain buffs. So we do boost the terrains of electric type, grass type, and psychic type. Before it was 30%, but now it's 50%. And I think I do include, I do have all this stuff in the text file of the paste bin as well. But as you can see here, I want to thank my contributors, Electra, Enigmatist, and Alex BB for helping out. We were in a chat about this, and we were talking about different things that we could do. Some experimental things that I mentioned in other conversations was using Shadow Lugia and some of the Shadow moves from the Gale XD Coliseum games. Busted moves from Pokemon Masters. This was something that I found on the Pure Hackmons. Ranzi was talking about some of these moves in sharing some of them that I thought was really cool. I don't personally play Pokemon Masters, but people were talking about how they were against the idea of implementing these moves because they're not really part of the game. They're impractical, and none of these things are implemented in Showdown, obviously, so they're not really going to be useful. But it is a theoretical thing that you could think about in future iterations. And I just want to thank everyone for viewing, supporting the previous original video. I will post a link, like I said, to this GitHub to show you exactly what it's all about. And I will be posting more videos on, myself playing through this format against the robot. One thing I forgot to mention, you can actually change the teams on Pokemon, on the leftovers again in the same bot file that I talk about. You can modify that to whatever you want. But anyway, I don't want to make this video any longer than it has to be. If you want to see, if you want more information or details, or you want to see another video on how I set things up, let me know in the description. I'm more than happy to help out. But like I said, my time is very busy lately. It's coming into November, and it's getting to be very busy for my personal life. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. If you want to reach out to me through Discord, I am going to post a link to my personal Tireless Golem server, where I'm currently going to be doing a giveaway to those who have part of that server. I'm only doing this giveaway because I reached 800 subs on my Tireless Golem channel, but that Discord server is also going to include I Sleep Too Late content as well, so stay tuned for that. And like I said, I upload videos every day on this channel. So anyway, that's going to be a wrap for today, folks, and I'll see you later in the next video. Peace out.